The genre Metroidvania is a bit confusing for a lot of people, with many of the uncultured simply referring to them as action platformer games. But a Metroidvania is one characterized by non-linear progression in an interconnected world where certain areas become accessible as you acquire new abilities or items. Games such as Hollow Knight, Dead Cells, and Castlevania really do the trick in explaining it. In the mobile conjecture, however, the Metroidvania genre is a bit scarce and in between. But today we'll be taking a look at 10 amazing Metroidvanias that you probably haven't heard of. And for the sake of the video, I won't be talking about already popular ones such as the Castlevania series and the above mentioned games. So let's get into the video, shall we? Let's start off with Super Mombo Quest, an action precision style platformer. The premise really doesn't take itself too seriously, even though the actual gameplay is pretty hardcore. You play as Mombo, a creature with a huge ass tongue, as you explore a dangerous, obstacle-filled, interconnected world with a good number of secrets and closed-off locations. The world is divided into small areas where you have to clear to advance, bounce, and stomp your way through challenging environments, enemy mobs, and intense boss fights. Unlock new abilities and forms and trace back your steps to use them to discover hidden areas and secrets. The game can and will be tough, with chaotic looking levels, dangerous bosses, and difficult mobs, but has a rewarding feeling as you master the controls and timing. This goes well with its Metroidvania nature, something for the fans. Following up is Runic Curse. Yeah, to be honest, it's a bit lacking in the graphical department, and that's just me being generous. But what it does lack in looks, it makes up for in mechanics and smooth looking controls, with a nice list of abilities and movesets. It honestly reminds me of Hollow Knight, a more slower, less fluid, poor graphical version, but one nonetheless. The story follows Andriod on a quest to find his friends separated due to a shipwreck that stranded them on an island caused by a rune. So you explore this mysterious, hostile place looking for answers while getting stronger. With 10 extensive locations, stamina-dependent combat, rune crafting and merging mechanics, and over 55 types of spells, yeah, it's hella fun looking and has the good reviews to back up that statement. Okay, next up is Mangavania, another action style platformer that is made in the old 3DS retro style black and white pixel graphics. I love a game that doesn't really take its graphical components too seriously and just focuses on the mechanics of the game, because to be honest, that's what normally drives people like me to play it. Join the adventure as Yuhiko, a young ninja who has gone to the underworld to find a cure for his brother, fight monsters, and meet new friends in this beautiful platformer. It looks really good, to be honest, with precision platforming that has all the good mechanics put into it. I think if you can overlook the old style graphics, you would have a good time. Wonder Boy the Dragon Trap is next on today's list. A pretty stylish, popular and colorful action RPG. You play as an adventurer cast into a half-human, half-lizard monstrosity by the Mecha Dragon. In search for a cure, you are on a quest to find the Salamander Cross, a magical item with the power to remove curses. But with each dragon you slay on your journey, the curse intensifies, transforming you into different animals. Explore large, interconnected locations populated with grumpy monsters and exotic dragons. The gameplay consists of traversing different locations, battling mobs, earning loot, defeating bosses, and unlocking new forms. These forms allow you to traverse several locked-up locations, hence the Metroidvania aspect of the game. I like the premise and the mechanics, and it is praised for being quote-unquote a cult classic among fans, so it's definitely worth checking out. Okay, next up is Grimvalor, and I have to say, even though the game is praised as being the best Metroidvania on mobile, I can't seem to enjoy it. It's stunning with gorgeous graphics, detailed scenery, and environment that exudes the gritty, sad, and lonely world the game is set in. The locations are plentiful, the hack and slash action pretty good and challenging, the platforming sleek, and the boss battles interesting. The story may be a bit lacking, but that's my own perspective. It's a great game nonetheless, with good reviews, and it also offers a 2-hour demo to try it out before purchasing. Okay, let's continue with quite a popular platforming title, Dandara. It is quite popular in the console community. It follows a female protagonist fighting against an oppressive authority. The gameplay itself is one that is unique, where you have the ability to swap or teleport between wide surfaces in an ever-changing world that is as mesmerizing as it is brutal. The game finds a way to mix both Metroidvania, roguelike, as well as intense puzzle mechanics in order to give you a very satisfying yet difficult experience. It is one of those games that you have to try out at least once in your lifetime, especially if you're a fan, and I would definitely give it a try. Next up, we have Elderand, another nice looking action platformer. You play as a survivor of a shipwreck trapped in a mysterious island that is covered in the Lovecraftian mythos. The game has an interesting plot and gameplay, but sadly failed to impress me thanks to its very terrible controls that just ruined the whole experience for me. Like I said, it is nice looking with a killer trailer, boss battles, backtracking exploration, and skill unlocking similar to Hollow Knight, but we'll need a gameplay to really enjoy it. Afterimage is next up, the underrated Metroidvania action 2D platformer. You play as a girl on a journey to find her identity, and in doing so turns the wheels of fate in her world. It's probably the newest addition on today's list, being a masterful port from a well-received PC game by the same name. Its graphics and scenery is gorgeous, with combat praised as complex, interesting, and intense, and boss fights that look unique. A non-linear world filled with secrets to explore, several NPCs, and lots more. In short, it's a cool-looking game that sadly doesn't get enough credit. Haak is next, a solid Metroidvania. The story is set in a dystopian future where the once proud city has fallen in ruins. You play as Haak, a wandering traveler on his way to the last sanctuary city of Sanhok. The gameplay consists of heavy precision platforming, puzzle solving, and combat. Explore a futuristic world filled with secrets and danger. The game features gorgeous hand-drawn graphics, dash, jump, and hook mechanics for transversal, multiple boss battles, and multiple endings. It's a pretty good title, but the controls may or may not be responsive. The reviews go back and forth on that, but there's a free demo to play before purchasing if you are unsure. Topping today's list is Tozuiha Night, a game that looks the most like a Castlevania game. From the pixel-style graphics, the abundance of abilities, and the fluidity of the combat that also feels a bit clunky. You play as Andriod, a beautiful and skilled alchemist who, using an iron whip, fights against the fearsome demons and other alchemists seeking to obtain a millenary power. It's obviously a tribute to the Castlevania series, something it apparently does well. And what is more Metroidvania than a Castlevania style game, making it a top contender on today's list. It's paid with a free demo to try out. Are you gonna play any of these games I just mentioned? Do me a favor and tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Are Metroidvanias really not your thing? I still got you covered with other genres that we'll be displaying right now on your screen. And with that, I'm done. You can go ahead now and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out though.